Hey, I'm Gan. Welcome to my channel again. This video is the second in the series on my big skin out 1850s project. I would love to do the intro to this video right now and have it go smoothly, but my cats keep chasing each other and fighting. In the last video, I started with the chemise. The next is the drawers, or a lot of people who really aren't into the historical costuming might think of it as bloomers, but that's not really a correct term. Just to be pedantic, bloomers refers to an entirely different kind of dress. I'm not really sure how they got inflated. Conflated. As you can tell, I'm not a linguist. Anyway, like the chemise, this garment was worn close to the skin and made in such a way that it could be frequently washed and take a lot of wear and tear. So it would be made out of linen or cotton and have a very sturdy construction. Unlike the chemise, this, relatively speaking, was a newer kind of underwear. Throughout the majority of the documented history of Western fashion, there was always some kind of undergarment like a chemise. So it would have gone by different names and been constructed in different ways, but basically a plain, easily washable, sturdy fabric tube to cover your torso and protect your clothing. In the early 19th century, that was when women started wearing drawers, which had previously really just been a male garment. I am kind of fuzzy on the details of how exactly it came into fashion, but late Regency, it was very, very fashionable to wear long pantalettes that went to the ankle. They kind of stayed into fashion, but it was still like exotic. It was not a normal thing for several decades. Middle of the 1850s, however, things change because you have the invention of the steel cage crinoline. And when you are wearing a hoop and the wind blows or somebody knocks you in the wrong way, you're more likely to have a wardrobe malfunction. And so the necessity of more layers of fabric covering your scandalous thighs and calves became a necessity. Some wearers instead wore a longer slip-type petticoat, narrower and maybe to the ankles or the low calf. Some wore drawers and some wore both. The construction of the drawers featured legs that were worked separately and had an open crotch seam finished off. They would be gathered into a waistband with a lot of room around the seat and drawers, and they would close at the waistband with either a button or a tie. Decorations could include little tucks at the bottom of the leg or a bit of lace. So that's about it for the history. I drafted this again using the instructions on the Elizabeth Stewart Clark website, which I will link down below. So let's get sewing. The first and most important step is to move the cat out of the way. And then I simply drew directly on the fabric, like I did with the chemise. Each leg is a full width of fabric, so I cut a section twice the length I needed and folded it hot dog style. Now, if that chemise video didn't give you enough footage of me sewing and pressing white cotton, you're in for a real treat. For most of construction, each leg is worked separately, and these steps are repeated on each leg. First, the inseam is sewn, and then the seam is felled. Next, the crotch opening is finished with the facing, and each leg is hemmed. This is also the best time to add any lace or leg tucks if desired. Everything is more manageable and easier to work with before it's gathered to the waistband. So far, each leg has been separate and comically wide. Let's fix that. The legs are set on the waistband with overlap at the center front and back. which helps the open seam lay shut on the wearer. The final step is adding a button and buttonhole. I work my buttonholes by hand, and I could say that it's because that's the historically accurate technique, or that I prefer the appearance. But I'm gonna be honest, it's mostly because my machine's buttonhole function has been broken for years. And that's it. Okay, now that's it. After that quick fix, I ended up with a pair of drawers that I'm very happy with. However, they're still kind of plain, so is the chemise. I think I'll probably add some lace later. That's all for this time. Thanks for watching.